Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastachade Shatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kantarada Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vishabhanu Suta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse 14. Sorry? 15. Text 15, yeah. What did I say? 14? Okay. Tang mopayātaṁ pratiyantu viprā gaṅgā che devī dhṛta-cittam ishe dvijopasṛṣṭaḥ kuhakas takṣako va daśatv alaṁ gāyata viṣṇu-gāthāḥ tang mopayātaṁ pratiyantu viprā gaṅgā cha devī dhṛta-cittam ishe dvijopasṛṣṭaḥ kuhakas takṣako va daśatv alaṁ gāyata viṣṇu-gāthāḥ. Ladies. Taham. For that reason. Ma. Me. Upayātaṁ. Taken shelter of. Pratiyantu. Just accept me. Viprā. O brāhmaṇas. Gaṅgā. Mother Ganges. Cha. Also. Devī. Direct representative of the Lord. Dhṛta. Taken into. Cittam. Heart. Ishe. Unto the Lord. Dvija-upasṛṣṭaḥ. Created by the brāhmaṇa. Kuhakas. Something magical. Takṣakaḥ. The snake bird. Va. Either. Daśatu. Let it bite. Alaṁ. Without further delay. Gāyata. Please go on singing. viṣṇu-gāthāḥ. Narration of the deeds of Viṣṇu. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. O brāhmaṇas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul, and let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird, or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created, bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Viṣṇu. Purport. As soon as one is given up completely unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, he is not at all afraid of death. The atmosphere created by the presence of great devotees of the Lord on the bank of the Ganges and Maharaj Parikshit's complete acceptance of the Lord's lotus feet were sufficient guarantee to the king for going back to Godhead. He thus became absolutely free from all fear of death. Jai Prabhupada. So, Maharaj Parikshit, he is accepting everything as the arrangement of Krishna. He's not resisting. He's not afraid. He's not stressed. He's not worried, because he feels that Krishna is protecting him. That Krishna is his protector, so he has no fear. One who has attachment in this world, one who has anarthas within the heart, always fearful. Because this world is temporary, so much suffering. This is not the world of Satchitananda. You know, Satchitananda is the world of eternal bliss and knowledge. This world is not Satchitananda. This world is temporary. It's full of suffering. But the jiva is always looking for a permanent situation. There was one philosopher, I think it was Einstein. He said that if one does the same mistake again and again and thinks that he will get some benefit, then he's a fool. So the jivas, we are taking birth here, life after life. Again and again we are trying to enjoy. And we are getting smashed. Durga has a trident, and she has 3 prongs on that trident, which are adibodhic, adidevic, and adhyatmic. So these prongs, she is piercing the jivas. Adhyatmic, adibodhic, adidevic. Sufferings caused by one's body and mind. Sufferings caused by other living beings, and sufferings caused by natural phenomena like floods, droughts, epidemics, the COVID. So we are all suffering. We are all being pierced by these, by this trident of Durga. But we again and again and again, we are making an attempt to be happy in this world. Huh? How foolish is that? Prabhupada once said, he said, who in their right mind would accept a life of suffering of adhyatmic, adibodhic, adidevic? Only Pagal will accept such a life. So these suffering. I mean, Durga is a Vaishnavi. She is a devotee of Krishna, and she's an expansion of Radharani. So Radharani, she is serving Krishna in Braj, and also in this world in the form of Durga. She is serving Krishna. Her service to Krishna here in this world in the form of Durga is to make us question, why am I suffering? When Sanatana Goswami, when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asked Mahaprabhu, why am I suffering? Arjuna on the battlefield, he asked Krishna, I am suffering. He had a nervous breakdown. The bow Gandiva slipped from his hand. He slumped into the chariot. He couldn't even move. What do they call that? The modern medical system has a word for that. I can't remember. Anyway, so this is our situation. We are suffering in this world. And we are thinking, just like a donkey with a carrot in front, we are thinking, oh, I can enjoy like this, I can enjoy like... Because of the anarthas within our heart, then we are enthusiastic, we are inspired, we have so much faith. We can be happy in this world. We just have to make some more money. Get a nice wife or a nice husband. Have a nice home, a BMW, or get a PhD. We are 100% convinced this is the duty of Maya, because one who does not have a pure service mood for Radha and Krishna, they're the criminals. This material world is Durga means jailhouse. So we are the criminals, and Durga is punishing us with the view that we will come to our senses and that we'll realize we are pagal, we are accepting a life of suffering. So Prabhupada came to give this wonderful gift of Krishna Prem. And where in any history has anyone done what Prabhupada did? You know, like in Jaiva Dharma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has explained the relationship between guru and disciple. The disciple will come with all humility and inquire from guru and give service. So, but what did Prabhupada do? Prabhupada started chanting in the park there, and then so people were attracted. So, but they didn't have any understanding of Krishna consciousness, of what guru is, what disciple is. Prabhupada washed their clothes. Prabhupada was standing in line for the bathroom with all the devotees. That mercy, that kindness, can we find anywhere else in the history of the world or this universe? So Prabhupada, he came, you know, to save us. So Maharaj Pariksit, he is exemplifying the last verse in Shikshastakam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ashlishyava padam padaratam pinashtumam adarshanam maramahatam karotuva yata tatava bidadatu lampato mat prananatastu sa evana paraha. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. So Pariksit Maharaj, he is saying, let me get this. He is saying that let the snake, bird, or whatever magical thing the brāhmaṇa created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Viṣṇu. So he's accepting everything as Krishna's arrangement. So this is the mood that a devotee has. Unless a devotee has this mood that I will accept everything, whatever suffering or whatever happiness in my life, if I will accept this as Krishna's mercy and I will continue my service. Now we should understand that this is very, very, very high level. Very few attain this level. But this is what Prabhupada came to give. Prabhupada came to give us this thing that we will surrender to Krishna. So Prabhupada wrote so many books, so many lectures, darshans, morning walks for this. So that we will accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to surrender to him. Like Maharaj Pariksit says, "Oh brāhmaṇas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul." So because Maharaj Pariksit, I mean from his very birth, he had darshan of Krishna in the womb of his mother. And for the rest of his life, he's searching for this Krishna. Where is this Krishna? So, you know, he's a pure devotee from birth, from conception. He's a pure Vaishnava. He's coming in the family of the Pandavas. He's not an ordinary person. So he's doing what an ordinary person can't do. But for most of us, Prabhupada gave us the sadhana bhakti. By the performance of sadhana bhakti, then we can come to this level. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you can do whatever you want. I am unconditionally surrendered to you. So this condition of surrender, it's based on love. Because, how can someone surrender to someone if they don't love them? Maybe by force, but that's not coming from the heart. And so Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, if anyone offers me in love a fruit, flower, leaf, whatever, I will accept. So this is the secret of sadhana. This is the secret of practicing bhakti, is love. Because we are so absorbed in material things, we have so much love for this world, for our wife, for our children, for our family, for our BMW, for our 2-story $1 million house. We love these things so much. As long as this love is there for this world, Krishna will not enter the heart. Even if there's a slight smell of material desire within the heart, Krishna will not enter. So, the performance of sadhana bhakti will cleanse the heart. When the heart is cleansed, because Krishna cannot enter the heart if the heart is full of material desires. But Guru, he will enter the heart. And he will cleanse our heart. Like, we have a conscience. Well, demons, they don't have a conscience. Like in chapter 16 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there's 2 types of human beings. There's demons and devotees. The devotees, they have a conscience. Because the conscience is coming from Paramatma within the heart, who is an expansion of Balaram. So he is in everyone's heart. So for a human being, when we think about doing something wrong, or we're about to do something wrong, then we're getting this prompting within the heart. This is the wrong thing to do. You shouldn't do this. This is the super soul from within the heart. He's giving us this instruction. When we take Diksha from a pure Vaishnava, he enters our heart. Where is it? Chakshudān Dilaye Janmi Janmi Prabhu Hai. So the Guru, he is within the disciple, birth after birth after birth. So Guru's duty and function is to clean the heart, so that Krishna can enter the heart. Yeah, our life is not the same. When we take Diksha, our life is not the same anymore. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it said that the suffering is reduced. Our karmic suffering is reduced. I think the analogy is given, if a devotee, his karma is such that he will lose his leg, then he may just get a scratch on his leg. So as far as karma goes, Guru, he is in control of that in our life. So if we, and he will make adjustments. For whatever is supporting us in our Krishna consciousness, then Guru will make adjustments for that. There's a story of, There's a story, I can't remember this king's name, but this story is in Bhagavatam. And Dhruva Muni was his guru. Now, this king, he wanted a son, but his destiny was such that he couldn't have a son. He was not destined. His karma would not allow him to have a son. So he's begging Dhruva Muni. He said, I want to have a son. Is there any austerity, any yajna, anything I can do? And because in Vedic scriptures, in Karma Kanda section, there are so many different rituals that one can do to attain what he wants in this world, whether it's material or spiritual. So but if the karma is such that one, even by performing rituals, if his karma is such, he cannot get what he wants, even by performing Vedic rituals or karma kanda. So this king, he was not destined to have a son. Doesn't matter what he did or didn't do. So he was begging Dhruva Muni, please, I want a son. I can't live without a son. He's crying. He's on the point of a nervous breakdown. So Dhruva Muni then, he arranged that his wife gets pregnant with him. So when he took birth, then the other queens, he had how many queens? 1,000? I can't remember how many queens he had. But he had like, was it 1,000 or thousands? 10 million. Kubalo. 10 million queens. Now that's, that's deadly earnest, isn't it? So, now those 10 million queens, they were so envious. They couldn't tolerate. This one queen had a child, but they didn't. They couldn't tolerate. So I think they poisoned him. They poisoned him and he died. And the king went from the highest bliss to the lowest, darkest depression. And he was so depressed. So then, Dhruva Muni, he came back to life. And he was instructing the king, you call me my son, you calling me a son, and I am your father, and you are my father, but I have had so many fathers. Which father are you? So he was instructing through this. So Dhruva Muni, as his guru, he made adjustments, and that's what happens. When one takes Diksha from pure Vaishnava Guru, then he will make adjustments in our life. And so here, Parikshit Maharaj, he accepted that this curse by the brāhmaṇa was the arrangement of Krishna. He accepted that. And because he's a pure devotee, he was able to accept. When we are in the conditioned stage, it's very difficult for us to accept. Like, I've had personal experience of this with different devotees. When their life becomes ruined, material life becomes ruined, they will pick up the deity of Krishna and they will throw in the Jamuna. Christians also, Muslims, when something serious happens. So it's very difficult. Suffering in this world is so painful and so disturbing. But ultimately, the arrangement by Guru for us is for our spiritual welfare, for our spiritual benefit. And Krishna, in Bhagavatam, Krishna says that for a devotee that I favor, I will make him a street beggar. I will take everything away from him. Now the magic words here, to a devotee that I favor. So Krishna favors those devotees who are serious in Krishna consciousness. So how many devotees are serious in Krishna consciousness? Krishna says that 4 types of people, they come to me. In Bhagavad Gita, okay, yeah, Bhagavad Gita 7:16. Chaturvida bhajante maṁ jana sukritino juna ato jigyasu artarti jnani cha bharatar shaba. O best among the Bharatas, Arjuna, 4 kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. These 4 people, they come to Krishna. But they're not coming to Krishna for Krishna praying. They want something material. Like the Christians pray, Our Father in heaven, give us this day our daily bread. But when these devotees, when they come to Krishna, they will go to a temple, they will go to parikrama in holy places. So because they're engaging in Krishna conscious activities, then eventually they will get sadhusanga. Eventually they will get the association of a pure Vaishnava. And from hearing the nectar of the words from the lips of a pure Vaishnava, they will realize that Krishna Prema is the ultimate goal of life. Like Dhruva Maharaj, he I guess everyone probably knows the story of Dhruva Maharaj, how Dhruva Maharaj's father, the king, he would not allow Dhruva Maharaj to sit on his lap. So he went crying to his mother, and his mother said, you should go to Viṣṇu. And because Viṣṇu promises whoever comes to him, he will fulfill their desires. I was in Balaji temple a few years ago, and I made friends with the head Pandit there. And so we had many discussions. So one time he was telling me, he was saying that Balaji is the incarnation of Krishna within Kali Yuga. But anyway, we're in Dan Kali Yuga now. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, so he's the ultimate, incarnation for this Kali Yuga. But previously, Balaji was probably the main incarnation of, or deity of Krishna. So he was saying that anyone who comes to pray to Balaji and gives respect, Balaji will fulfill their desires. He gave me the example of one Hollywood actor. What's his name? Can't remember. Anyway, this Hollywood actor, he wanted an Oscar. For many, many years, he never got an Oscar. Everyone know what an Oscar is? Yeah? It's an award, yeah. It's the highest award that one can get in Hollywood. So he wanted this. So he came to Balaji and he prayed sincerely. And he got an Oscar. You know. So, you know, like Krishna says, 4 types of people come to him. So obviously he can't be a demon. If he's praying to Krishna for something, then he must be a devotee. Krishna says, 4 types of people come to me. I was talking about Dhruva Maharaj. So, yeah, so Dhruva Maharaj, he went to the forest and he wants a kingdom that's greater than his father's. So he's performing austerities, sitting cross-legged and performing austerities in the forest. So then Narada Muni came. When Krishna sees a devotee sincere, he'll send his pure Vaishnava to give instruction. We can't approach Krishna unless we go through pure Vaishnava. So Krishna, he arranges this for us. So he sent that pure Vaishnava, he sent Narada Muni. And so Narada Muni instructed him, he said, the ultimate goal of life is Krishna Prem. And he was instructing him how he should give up his material desires, how he should develop a detachment from this world and develop Krishna Prem. And Dhruva Maharaj said to him, he said, I understand what you're saying is correct. And I understand I should strive for this. He said, but I don't have the qualification. I don't have the adhikar to do this. My desire for a kingdom greater than my father is so great, I am totally overwhelmed by this desire. I can't do anything else. So then Narada Muni said, okay. Then he gave him instruction on how to perform bhakti. And then when Dhruva Maharaj, when he got darshan of Narayan, he said to Narayan, I was looking for broken pieces of glass, and I have got a gold. I have got a valuable gem. So, because Dhruva Maharaj followed the instruction of Narada Muni, then he got darshan, and he understood that his material desires were just broken pieces of glass compared to Krishna Prem. And Narada Muni gave him this instruction in the beginning, you know, that the most valuable thing is Krishna Prem. But Dhruva Maharaj, he couldn't follow. So just like when Prabhupada came, he told us, ultimate goal is Krishna Prem. Prabhupada once said, he said, all I really require from my disciples is to sit in a secluded place, I think he said Vrindavan, and chant, just hear and chant. That's all I require. He said, but because they are so restless, they can't do this. He says, I have a headache trying to engage them according to their capacity. Just like Narada Muni engaged Dhruva Maharaj. So Prabhupada, he engaged us. And so we can see now, there's so many Prabhupada disciples that have so much advancement in Krishna consciousness. Like one of my god sisters, Krishna Premi, in Australia, every time she's leading kirtan, tears are coming from her. Tears are coming from her eyes. Even when she's in a kirtan, tears are coming from her eyes. She has so much love for Prabhupada. You know, and she Prabhupada would instruct her, go to Sweden and open a temple. She's a young girl. What is she, 18, 20 years old, you know? She gave up everything. She wasn't thinking, oh, my husband, I need a husband, or, you know, or nothing, no. She was totally surrendered to Prabhupada. So many Prabhupada disciples are like this. Even my godbrother in his samadhi is in Rajpur. What's his name? Huh? Jayananda Prabhu, yeah. He was totally surrendered to Prabhupada. Totally. So there are so many Prabhupada disciples like that. I mean, I think Prabhupada initiated 7,000 disciples. And when Prabhupada left the planet, there was 3,700 Prabhupada disciples who were actively serving within ISKCON at that time. Well, what's the time? Oh, okay. We're coming close to the end of the class. Does anyone have any questions? Is there a microphone?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. You were speaking about how Maharaj Parikshit was fearless at the prospect of having to give up his body in a very short amount of time. Now, in our situation, sometimes our service is jeopardized. Like his service was also jeopardized, but he was not fearful. Why was he not fearful? Like when my service becomes threatened due to circumstances, there's a certain fear that, oh, I'll lose my opportunity to perform service. Parikshit was not fearful of that. Could you say something why he was not fearful? He could have said, look, I mean, how can the world go on? How can my kingdom go on? How can my family go on without me? But that was not his logic. So his faith was unshaken because of his Krishna consciousness. So when that fear arises in our heart that, oh, I might lose my opportunity for service, or I'm going to lose my spot, or I might not pass this exam, there's a certain fear that can come up in our heart. Is that fear always because of Maya? Or could it also be because of a fear of not being able to please our spiritual master?
Yeah. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you can do whatever you want with me. You can trample me under your feet, or you can, what do you call it? I can be bereft of your association, darshan, or you can do whatever you want, I will accept. I am always the soul surrendered unto you. So Maharaj Parikshit, he is in this mood that he is accepting everything as Krishna's arrangement. You know, that's why he's not stressed, he's not fearful, and he's not worried about his family, because he knows that ultimately Krishna is in control. So he is accepting everything as Krishna's arrangement. He's not resisting that. We only resist that because of our attachments in this world. Things are not going the way we want. So then we will resist, we'll become, you know, and we can justify that in so many different ways. But if we're honest and truthful with ourselves, we will understand that we are not surrendered. Our heart is full of anarthas. And because of these anarthas, we are suffering and we are afraid of everything, including death. Yeah. Is that okay? Hare Krishna. Okay, if there's no question, I just want to tell her. Oh, okay, go. Huh?
I had a question.
Oh, you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You mentioned how the Durga Devi with the trident, she pierces the jiva, the living entity. But in Bhagavad Gita is mentioned that the soul cannot be cut to pieces, burned by fire, withered by the hair. So could you elaborate, or more precisely, how can that, what did you meant by the piercing of the jiva?
The soul is compared to a ray of sunlight, the conditioned soul. It's compared to a ray of sunlight that goes through a colored glass. So the pure ray of sunshine, it becomes colored. So the jiva, the true nature of jiva is that he is eternal, full of bliss and full of knowledge. But in the conditioned state, the jiva has ahankara. I am the controller, I'm the enjoyer, and I am the owner. So this ahankara, it binds the jiva to the body. The body's a machine that Krishna created, and it needs a jiva to make it work. So this trident is not piercing the jiva, it's piercing it's piercing the jiva's condition within this world, the identification with this body. I am this body. Extensions of my body, my family, my wife, my children, my relatives, my country, my worshipable country. Wave the flag. So this is what we're being pierced with. Yeah, okay. Any more questions?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So you mentioned that...
Can you speak a little louder and a little slower?
Okay. So you mentioned that that Krishna cannot come into the cannot come into us if we have material desires, and there is no. I don't think it's quite possible for us in Kali Yuga not to have material desire. So how can we attract Krishna if we are full of material desires? In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's one verse. Sadhusanga, 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 sarabha siddhi hoy. So all perfection, siddhi hoy, sarabha siddhi hoy, all perfection can be achieved by sadhusanga, by associating with pure Vaishnavas. The beginning of Krishna consciousness is Shravanam. Without Shravanam, we can't chant. Without chanting, how can we remember? So just like Maharaj Puri, like Shukadeva Goswami, he's the greatest kirtaniya in the world, in the universe. For 7 days and nights, he was speaking Bhagavatam. He didn't stop for anything. No water, nothing to eat, no sleeping, nothing. 7 days and nights continuously. He did that. And Maharaj Pariksit, what was he doing? Also, he didn't eat or sleep. But he was so absorbed in this Harikatha. You know, like we see, you know, that sometimes when we're in class, in Bhagavatam class, we'll go to sleep. You know, because we don't have that taste that Maharaj Pariksit had. So how do we develop this taste that Maharaj Pariksit had? By hearing from sadhus, from hearing from pure Vaishnavas. If you read Bhagavatam, you will see, you know, is it thousands of times? Prabhupada has mentioned that if we hear the nectar
from the lips of pure Vaishnavas, then our heart will be transformed. The anarthas within the heart will become less, and our attraction to Krishna will develop. Is that okay? We need to hear from pure Vaishnavas.
So how do we balance the material desires in attracting Krishna? How do we balance the two?
Can you talk a little
I'm saying, how do we balance attracting Krishna and our material desires, because it's not going to leave?
Did you hear that?
How can we attract Krishna if we still have material desires, right?
How do we balance it?
You fake it until you
How
make
can we balance our material desire
No.
and attracting Krishna?
We fake it until we make it. Now, Prabhupada, he didn't, before Prabhupada was giving us Harikatha, he didn't expect that we will become free from material desires. He wasn't expecting that. And you look at all our acharyas, they don't expect that. Because by hearing and serving the pure Vaishnavas, by hearing and serving the pure Vaishnavas, that will take place. Now, we may fall from it. We may have diksha, we may be rightly situated, but we may fall. But Krishna says, even if a devotee does the most abominable thing, if he again takes up his Krishna consciousness and serves his guru, he's considered rightly situated. And if one criticizes such a devotee, that's Vaishnava aparad, and they will lose everything by criticizing such a devotee. So, in the beginning, Prabhupada once said, when our GBC in Australia fell down, Madhudvisa, and the devotees were saying, the devotees in Australia were so angry. They were chasing him with sticks. They were going to break his bones. And so Madhudvisa had to run, and he was able to escape and get back to US. And Prabhupada said, I am not surprised if a devotee falls down. He said, I am surprised if a devotee doesn't fall down. Huh? What we should be worried about, okay, we have anarthas and they're a problem. I'm not saying they're not. But what we should be concentrating on is hearing, Shravanam. Because by Shravanam our hearts will be cleared. Prabhupada once told a devotee, came to me and said, I'm so sex desire is so strong, I can't tolerate. And then Prabhupada said, read Krishna book. Because that's about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. He said, read Krishna book. So we don't have to become free from material desires before, for an eligibility to hear Shravanam. We don't need that. And if we wait for that, we will wait for eternity. It'll never happen. Only by hearing. Okay, Prabhus, thank you for coming and listening to me. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripasundavyabhacha paditana